Gucci seen you on YouTube, reached out to you. How did you feel when he reached out to you? Was you fucked up? Did you believe it? Or you thought it was a fake account?
Yeah, I ain't believe it at all. Look at my phone. I said, hell no, I wake up, I get all the way up. Look at my phone again. He text me again. He was like, what's up? I text back right there. I was like, what's chopping? He was like, man, I'm rocking with your music, home. You too hard. I instantly put my clothes on, leave. I go to the house. I wake Pops up. You know, this my manager. Hell no, this ain't real.
Right.
I wake him up. I show him. He couldn't believe he done there sweating. He get to sweat. So look, he sent me his number. He said, FaceTime me. I FaceTime him from there. We talked about like 5 hours. And it was up from there. And now fucking twin sister, mama's cousin.
Bitch, snitchatron.
You got
What y'all expected out of Pooh Shiesty since he just got out?
So what we expecting out of Pooh Shiesty since he just got out?
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah,
music for sure.
To get it back in blood.
Get back in that music for sure.
That's all he gonna be focused on watching. That's all you gonna see.
Don't do no club.
He ain't about to do. He's just about to drop hella shit.
No bullshit right now.
He's just about to drop shit.
I'm like, man, I don't believe Gucci just sit there and just let a nigga do something to him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this was like some surprising news. At least it was for me. That I didn't really expect it, but you know, they're saying Pooh Shiesty robbed Gucci Mane over Gucci Mane not wanting to help out when Scar died. And they're saying that now he's signed to Yo Gotti.
They said he was locked up. I just saw he out.
Oh, he's out, or he was in
He was on live.
a halfway house for a while.
He was in the halfway house, but he wasn't posting on the internet while all that was going on. I heard that too. They went in the studio, met him, tried to press him like all his big homies. You know, I think they said his pops, all type of motherfuckers. And then they said Gucci punched one of them and they shit. You feel me? So ain't no telling. I don't like, man, I don't believe Gucci just sit there and just let a nigga do something to him. You know what I'm saying? Over the scar, I mean, I understand everything, but they say Gucci supposed to punch one of them and they shit. And his ring fell off and his watch like broke and he picked it up. So I don't think it was like a robbery, like, nigga, give me that shit. You know what I'm saying? It was a scuffle, it was going down, and then he lost his pieces.
Pooh Shiesty and Chopper Gang ran down on Gucci Mane, relieved him of some of his possessions, and basically forced him to sign a contract releasing Pooh Shiesty from 1017. I had people hit me up saying, some of Gotti's people are the one who did this. When you listen to the FDO song, he's shouting out Yo Gotti. If you're signed to Gucci Mane, you are not showing Yo Gotti love.
That means it was a sneak attack. Let's just say maybe Gucci made arrangement to come to Dallas. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Pooh's in Dallas, I'm gonna book some studio time.
Yeah.
We gonna get it in. Hey, Pooh them at the door, let them in. They come in, right? It had to be some shit like that. Gucci wouldn't have been anticipating the problem. It wouldn't have been that easy.
I feel like the signing artist part of Gucci's life is over.
But bro, what's really gonna be over is Pooh Shiesty's career.
Yeah.
He's gonna put his on the shelf. Y'all going on the shelf, boy.
Ain't putting on, man. That's all we know, man. Putting on like the lawn, man. Big murder, man. Know what's going on, man.
Their way.
Devils who got them served. They weren't doing it for a little saint, man.
It all went down in one morning. 2 different locations, 2 different arrests. But the same case. A father taken out of his own home in handcuffs, while his son was being picked up hundreds of miles away at the exact same time. And just like that, a comeback story turned into something nobody saw coming. Because this isn't just about a robbery, it's about a second chance that didn't last. When he walked out of prison in 2025, everything felt different. The energy was there, fans were waiting, the industry hadn't moved on. For most artists, disappearing for years can end everything, but not this time. The moment he got out, the internet lit up. Videos, posts, celebrations. It felt like he never left, and for his mother, this was the moment she had been waiting for. After everything, she finally got her son back home. You could imagine the relief, the belief that the worst was behind them, that this was the start of something new. But what people didn't see was what was building behind the scenes. Because while everything looked perfect on the outside, there was pressure underneath. and it wasn't going away. At some point, things started shifting. Quietly. No big headlines, no public drama, just tension building in the background. There were issues tied to business, contracts, control, decisions that couldn't be undone easily. And situations like that, they don't just disappear, they sit there, they grow, and eventually, they force a decision. Now, normally, this gets handled with lawyers, negotiations, paperwork, time. But according to prosecutors, that's not the route that was taken. Instead, something else started forming. Something bigger. Something that involved more people, more planning, and way more risk than anyone realized. The trip to Dallas didn't look unusual at first. Just another move, another city, another day. But behind that trip, there was a setup. Vehicles tied together, movements tracked, and even paperwork being prepared ahead of time. According to investigators, this wasn't random. This was planned, step by step, and at the center of it all was a meeting, a studio session, a chance to talk things out. At least, that's what it looked like, because the people walking into that building had no idea what was actually waiting for them. Inside the studio, everything changed. What was supposed to be a conversation turned into pressure. Fast. The situation escalated quickly. Doors closed, positions taken, and suddenly, it wasn't about discussion anymore. It was about control. According to reports, demands were made. Tension filled the room. And outside that room, things were just as intense. Other individuals being held in place. Fear spreading, confusion turning into panic. For a moment, it felt like things could go much further. Like it might not stop at just a confrontation. Eventually it did. But not before everything had already crossed a line. And what happened next made things even worse. Because the biggest mistake wasn't just what happened in that studio, it was what came after. Within hours, things started showing up online, posts, jewelry, signals that something had gone down. And that's when everything started collapsing. Fast. Because this wasn't a situation with no evidence. This was the opposite. An ankle monitor, placing someone at the exact location. Cameras, capturing movements before and after. Phones, tracking the timeline. Fingerprints, left behind. And even a tracking device, leading straight back to where it all connected. Piece by piece. The case started building itself. And the more it came together, the harder it became to ignore. Then the story went public, and that's when everything split. Not in court, but online. Because once people found out what happened, the conversation changed. Some focused on the situation itself, others focused on what came after. Debates started, arguments took over. People choosing sides without fully knowing the facts, and the internet did what it always does. Turned it into something bigger than the case itself. But while everyone was talking, posting, reacting, there was one person who didn't say much at all. Early that morning, before the headlines, before the debates, before the internet even knew, she watched it happen in real time. Agents at the door, a search happening inside her home, and then the father of her child being taken away. At the same time, her son was already being picked up somewhere else. Same case, same moment, 2 people gone, just like that. And what did she do? She didn't go on camera, she didn't give interviews, she didn't explain anything, she just posted a few messages. Short, faith-based, simple, no details, no defense, just belief. And honestly, that silence hit harder than anything else in this entire story. Because while the world was arguing, debating, picking sides, and turning it into headlines, she was the one actually living it. No cameras, no interviews, no explanations, just reality. The kind you can't pause, the kind you can't scroll past. Now everything is different. This isn't about music anymore. It's not about hype. It's not about momentum or who's trending. It's about consequences. Real ones, the kind that don't disappear after a few news cycles. The kind that don't get cleaned up with a quick apology or a post. the kind that follow you every single day. Every person involved is now facing serious time if convicted. For some, it could mean life. Not years, not a temporary setback. Life. And when you really sit with that, when you actually take a second to understand what that means, that's what makes this story hit so hard. Because just a few months earlier, everything was lined up perfectly. A second chance most people never get. A chance to rebuild everything that was lost, to move smarter, to do things differently. The fan base was still there. The support hadn't faded. The door was still open. All the pieces were in place. And for a moment, it really looked like things were about to go the right way. But sometimes, it only takes one decision to erase all of that. One moment, to undo years of work. And now, instead of a comeback story, it's become something much harder to process. A reminder that second chances don't always last. A moment to restart, to rebuild, to prove something different. The fan base was ready. The support was there. The industry hadn't closed its doors. There was still space to win again. There was still time to turn everything around. And now, it's all uncertain. Everything that once felt guaranteed now feels fragile. For one person, it's a comeback that may never happen. For another, it's loyalty that may cost everything. And for everyone watching, it's a reminder that sometimes the biggest losses don't come from failure alone, but from the choices made when everything was finally going right. For a father, it's being pulled into something that didn't just affect one moment, but changed the entire direction of his life. And for a mother, it's starting over again. Not from scratch, but from a place that feels even heavier. Waiting, hoping, praying that somehow things turn out differently than they look right now. So the real question isn't just what happened. It's why it happened. Because situations like this don't just appear out of nowhere. They don't explode overnight. They build, quietly, step by step, decision by decision. Small choices that don't seem that serious at the time, stacking up until they become something you can't control anymore. Until one moment changes everything. And by the time it hits, by the time reality sets in, it's already too late to rewind it. Too late to fix it. Too late to go back and choose differently. At the end of the day, this could have been a completely different story. A comeback people celebrated. A redemption that inspired others. A second chapter that proved growth was real. Instead, it became a reminder of how fast everything can fall apart when one wrong move outweighs all the right ones before it. It became a warning, and maybe that's the part people should really pay attention to. Because not every second chance comes twice. If this story made you think a little differently about everything that happened, then you already see why it matters. Because this isn't just another headline. It's a situation that's still unfolding in real time. New details, new angles, and more questions that haven't been answered yet. And every time something new comes out, it adds another layer to a story that's already deeper than most people realize. So stay locked in, because this isn't over yet. And if you want the full breakdowns, the updates, and the parts of the story most people miss, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you don't miss what comes next. Drop your thoughts in the comments too. Because this one, people are seeing it very differently. I'll catch you in the next one.